Hey, this is Adam. We've got a great show lined up for you this week. It includes guest host Ray Brito. He's the Gallows Humor podcast host, as well as he's emceeing for stand-up comedy at Old School Pizza. Before we get to the podcast, I'd like you to take a minute and listen to a story about Marley. She's a 14-year-old girl, and she really needs our help. If any listener is able to help, even $1 is helpful. So if any of you guys are able to help, please donate. Check out the show notes. Check out our Facebook page. You'll be able to see the links all over those places. As always, thanks for listening. This is a dual podcast broadcast for both Living Podcariously and our second podcast, The Twisted 10. Occasionally on our podcasts, we try to give back to the community a little bit and to some friends and family that sometimes are in need. Something was brought to our attention not too long ago from, actually, ironically, through my former stepdaughter, through Kendall. We went to her wedding, and one of the things she was doing with the money that was raised out of the money at the bar and some of her wishing well money was going to a charity. And the charity is for a little girl named Marley. On the phone with us is Jay Benoit. How you doing, Jay? Can you hear us?
I'm doing great, yes. All
right, awesome. Jay's going to go over a little bit of what this benefit is for and why Marley needs our help. There is a GoFundMe set up. I'm going to put the link in the show notes, as well as we're going to share it on both Living Podcariously and the Twisted Tens Facebook pages. So you guys can go out there and take a look at it. Jay, give us just a little bit of a background. And by the way, I know Jay. Jay is Kendall's father, so I've known him for, I guess, maybe 14 or so years at this point, maybe 13 years. So
yeah, a lot of years.
Yeah, we go way back. But yeah, give us a little bit of an update. Now, I pulled the whole GoFundMe, so if you want me to read any of that, I certainly can. But I think it'd be better for people to hear directly from you what this little girl and your relation to her and what's going on with her.
Marley I consider her my stepdaughter. I've been with my lady. Her name is Christy. I've been with her for well over a year now. Go around to Marley. Marley is 13, just turned 14 years old. And she kept on complaining about her stomach was hurting and, I don't know what's going on and so on and so forth. And sometimes, your kids have stomach aches and you're just giving them, here you go. Here's some medicine. Here's some nausea medicine. Here's a little thing.
Or the old wives' tale of a stomach ache. Drink some Coca-Cola with it, and it'll take care of it.
Yeah. Just no big deal. So you don't think anything of it. And then it got really bad where then she was getting acid reflux, and it got to a point where, oh my gosh, you can almost smell the acid on her breath. So then we started taking her to the doctor, trying to find out what's going on. It was one medicine after another, after another, after another, and I'm not joking. It was, this one didn't work, so let's do this one. This one didn't work, let's try the dosage up higher. This one doesn't work. It was crazy. So literally, this has been going on for over a year. I have taken her to the hospital several times. And when you're sitting there going, even just the deductible to be admitted to the hospital, not through the emergency room, but through the admittance, like the doctor would ask us to, that's a $500 deductible right there.
Ouch.
Go in. Yes, when you do that several times, and then all of a sudden they're like, we can finish up all this stuff, outpatients, we need to do scopes, we need to do this, we need to do that, we have blood work, and it's consistently, every week, every 2 weeks we're doing something, and it's just, after a full, a year and a couple months now it's been, I've literally gone through, somewhere between $50,000-$60,000 of medical expenses.
Holy cow.
I went through my life savings, and I don't know, if people are listening to this, and I know, Adam, because, hey, we've raised kids, so we know when you have a 13-year-old kid sitting there crying in pain, you are going to fucking do anything you can to make sure that that's taken care of. And this happens on a daily basis. I was supposed to take her to a doctor appointment today, and she's in way too much pain. She goes, I can't go right now. I have to reschedule it. I'm like,
oh my goodness. I'm sorry, Jay. Now
it's, nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I understand. So, but just out of curiosity, was Marley one of the kids that was at Kendall's wedding?
Yes, she was the one with the long, curly, blonde hair.
Okay.
She made it that day. She's not very social neither, because all this, when all this happened, you're in so much pain, you stay home. We had to take her out of school because she missed so much school and had to do, it's a special program that you can do here in the county, right? Like a virtual school, basically.
Sure. Now,
then she can.
One of the things I was reading off of your GoFundMe, and I guess her mom set up the GoFundMe account for her. Mm-hmm. One of the things that kind of blew my mind, yes, you guys put the details in there of, the what they call the retardation of the stomach, that's the what causes the issues, was the weight loss. So on here you put she lost in 6 months, and keep in mind this is a 13-year-old girl, but she lost 24 pounds in 6 months for a 13-year-old girl who probably doesn't even weigh but 100 pounds to begin with. That's unbelievable to me.
She is skin and bones, because I mean at one point she doesn't want to eat because it's so painful. And what happens with this is the food's going in. She has an acid reflux problem, number one, which isn't a normal acid reflux.
Sure,
She's
no kidding.
on dosages that are like 4 times the normal adult dosage to try to keep that down. Plus the retardation of the stomach, the food sits in her stomach and just turns and turns and turns and turns.
Goodness.
Which isn't supposed to. And then it goes through the digestive system, and then now the newest thing is her large intestine quit working on it.
Oh.
Or I'm not sure if I want to call it quit, but wasn't working properly.
It gave up. So, it was overworking itself, maybe.
Yeah. So, without trying to upset her or get too gross with anybody.
Sure. No. Understood.
You start getting impacted.
Yeah.
She didn't know, because, she was like anybody else. You're going a little bit, but she didn't know. She ended up with gallstones as well. We took her to the hospital, to the Florida hospital in Orlando, and he said, okay, we're going to go in there. We'll run some tests. Let's see how the gallstones are now, because we're giving her medicines for those to shrink. And then we can go in through surgery to take the big one out, leave the small ones there for her to pass. We go there, believe it or not, oh my God.
So you're going to the hospital. She's ready for surgery, right? She's in the mindset of she's going into surgery.
Oh, she's in the mindset of this doctor's like, we're going to fix you. We're going to fix you. We're going to get you in the hospital to fix you. This has been like a year of going through this shit. And she's like, yes, finally, great. I want to go. Yes, let's do this. We go there. The doctor didn't even see her for like a day. Well, no, the first day was there, was gone a day or two, came back, seen her, and then just gone. There's no more doctor. It's like, what the hell? And I know you have to do all these tests. This motherfucker went on vacation while she's sitting in the hospital.
Oh.
And I'm not lying. I'm not fucking lying. Went on vacation. So you want to see a pissed off mom?
Yeah, no kidding.
Woo! I want to be in her way.
Yeah, no kidding.
We had to end up finding a new doctor, and that's when we eventually found a new doctor that took the insurance, so on and so forth. And we have an appointment with her in actually 2 days from now.
Yeah,
it's like finally. And this doctor, when we went to the hospital last, was the one going through all the records, trying to look at everything, and looking at all the medications and everything she's taking. And she said, what the fuck is going on here? What's happening, and why isn't this taken care of? And so going through the whole spiel, it was a doctor that we felt like, holy shit, she gets it.
Yeah, you finally found one that understands what's going on, maybe.
For me, I'm a person, I'm not sure if you know, Adam, but I don't go to doctors because I don't trust freaking doctors at all. Hey, people looking at me, yes, I'm a little overweight, but guess what? I've had blood tests, and I'm perfectly healthy, other than being a little overweight. That's it.
There are those of us that can be healthy and be overweight, right? Me and you, Jay, we know what we're talking about
there
here.
There we go, we're good.
we know what we're talking about.
I like my beer, damn it. I'm not giving it up.
So on your guys' GoFundMe, on the GoFundMe that's set up, it's really not an unreasonable goal that you guys set. You guys set, from what I remember, it looked like a $5,000 goal to help with a lot of her doctor bills. And that doesn't seem like that's unreasonable. You guys, I mean, in my opinion, should be asking for a hell of a lot more with as much stuff as you guys have to go through. But to me, it looks like a very, very reasonable goal. And I think it's important to point out, you guys even put it on your GoFundMe that yes, Marley does have medical coverage. However, there's so much that's above and beyond medical coverage. That's what they're asking for, because as you just said, you've drained your life savings at this point. Marley's mom has probably used all of her savings that she has available. So you guys are nickel and diming the doctor's bills at this point. So hopefully we'll get the message out, and some of our listeners, and they're worldwide listeners. So hopefully GoFundMe allows worldwide contributions. I don't know. Most of it's Central Florida and Tampa, over to Cocoa Beach, but we do have listeners all over the US and all over the world. So hopefully some of this stuff makes it out to them. Because, again, not an unreachable goal by any stretch of the imagination.
It's something where actually when we did the GoFundMe, the $5,000 was the one. It just came up and said, this is what you should try for. Or that was the minimum one, or something to that effect when Christy was actually doing it. Actually, her real name, if you see on the GoFundMe, is Elaine, but she likes to go by Christy.
Gotcha.
I don't know. So just in case you were looking at there.
Understood. Well,
but realistically, I mean, her medical out of expense every month, I have it written on my whiteboard. You know how us programmer guys are. Sitting there, $1,277 on the penny.
Oh, man. Okay.
I'm like going, wow.
Good gracious. So the GoFundMe, and again, I'm going to link this inside the show notes, but the GoFundMe is gofundme.com/B7QYK0. Again, it's searchable, and we'll put all the details in the show notes. So if anyone out there is able to help, even $5, even something as little as, $5 or $10 just to help, that would be ridiculously appreciated. And the hosts here at Living Podcariously and the Twisted 10 will do something special for any listener that wants to go in and say that they donated and put their name on there and say that they heard it through this podcast. We'll do something special. We'll send you some merchandise, or we'll say something specific to you guys on air as a thank you. And we want to show our support and our help. Man, I love you, and I love you guys very much. You're like a second family to me. I've come down to your house before for dinners and for, I think I was even there for a Thanksgiving one time. So yep. I'll air this on both shows, and we'll do our very, very best to, get some attention to Marley. And if if all of our listeners gave even just $1, then that would mean that the complete bill is covered. So yeah. Hopefully I can, get that message out, and we can inspire some of our listeners to, to help out. We do this show, these two shows that we do are completely free. This is 100% on our dime. We pay for the hosting. We pay for all of that, minus a little bit of sponsorship, but that doesn't cover much. What we would like to ask for you guys in return for the listeners is to go check out this GoFundMe. This is a personal friend, and I consider Jay a family member. So it's helping my family out directly. So if you can do anything, I would greatly be in your debt to help out Jay and to help out his family. So check out the GoFundMe, and then Jay, I'll air it this week, and I'll also throw it on next week's episode as well, so we can get as much attention out there as possible. Is there an expiration date on a GoFundMe? Just out of curiosity.
I don't think so. I think we've had it out there for a month or month and a half, something like that.
Okay.
She has been to the hospital twice since then.
That sucks. Understood.
Yeah.
Well, Jay, I wanted to add also, being, a young girl like that, if she's ever having a good day, I'll give you my number and stuff. I want you to have her come to Brent Allen Salon, and I'll do her hair for free, and we'll do her hair and makeup and make her feel gorgeous for the day.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Especially with curly hair, it's hard to find someone who can do it good.
Yes. Yes. Every time we take her to get her hair done, it is ridiculously expensive, but I feel so bad. Because she's a girl. She needs that stuff.
She does, and whatever she wants. If she wants highlights and some color and cut and style, and we'll give her a good day of beauty when she's filling up to it.
Wow. Wow.
We'll hook up on the side for that, Jay, and we'll exchange numbers for you and Andrea so you guys can set that up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she would love it.
Maybe we can take some pictures up there and put them up on the site just to get it some more attention. When she comes up there.
Man, I really do appreciate that. That is...
Well, certainly.
I wasn't expecting anything like that.
Jay, I didn't expect that either. That just came out of nowhere, out of Andrea, so... Well, hey, your story is inspirational. Hopefully we can get some kind of attention to her. Hey, man, we can only try. And when I heard from Kendall about what the money was going to for the wedding, I hit Kendall up and said, hey, if you guys want to promote it on our shows, it's our little way to get out a message out to, to our listeners in the world. Just let us know. So maybe we can get some attention to it, and if so, great.
I appreciate it. If there's anything I can ever do for you, guys, both of you, just let me know.
Absolutely. All right, Jay, man. Well, thank you. Send our love, especially to Marley and to her mom, and let them know that we're going to do whatever we can.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're listening to Living Podcariously, bringing you real men's perspectives, unfiltered, unapologetic, and uncensored. Recorded live in the Living Podcariously studio in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Welcome to Living Podcariously. This is episode number 25. We're, what do you call it, a nickel now? Double nickel? No, that's 55. Isn't there something for when you on like your 25th year of marriage?
I don't know.
All right. Quarter?
25-cent piece.
Centennial? No, that's 100. Quarterly? Well, whatever. I'm one of your hosts. My name's Adam Poston. Sitting across from me is the beautiful Andrea.
Hi, this is Andrea Joy.
And we have no Tach this week, but we have someone better. So right off the bat, a better host than Tach. No, I'm just kidding. Our good friend, Ray Brito, is joining us this week in studio. How you doing?
How's it going?
Good, real well. So we have a packed show for tonight, that's for sure. With Ray brings up some comedy stylings from the old school pizza host gig that he does, as well as other podcasts. He hosts the Gallows Humor podcast. Ray came in and immediately noticed our studio and said, hey, that's an actual real studio. Really, it's just a room out of our house that we've turned into a pseudo studio. Nothing too formal, but hey.
But it's fancy when you have a pool table next to it and a swimming pool outside.
Except when you're trying to actually record audio because everything fucking echoes. That's the only downfall to it. But so yeah, Ray, welcome to the show. We appreciate you coming up. That's really nice of you to fill in the shoes of Tach. Not that they're too big to fill lately because we haven't seen him in studio for 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's off in Lollyland.
Lollyland?
Yep.
Tach just recently got a girlfriend. Well, I don't know if they're officially girlfriend, boyfriend yet. I don't know the whole situation, but he's preoccupied with other things.
So he is in love.
He hasn't been on the podcast since he got this quote unquote girlfriend.
Yeah, it's been some time. Now, granted, he is working like 65 or 70 hours a week, and really that's why he's legitimately working. So he's gonna be cussing at us listening to this podcast later for sure. But hey,
we love you, Tach.
That is what it is. That's Tach. So yeah, like I mentioned before, Ray is here. Ray Brito, Brito, not to be confused with other pronunciations of the word. He hosts the podcast called Gallows Humor Podcast. So you can, I couldn't find it on Google Play Music when I searched for it earlier, but I know it's on iTunes and Stitcher and some of those other ones, but I couldn't find it on Google Play.
I don't know how do you get it on?
I'll show you after the show. There's a registration you send into Google, and they just add you to their Android.
Oh, just like iTunes?
It's actually way easier than iTunes. It's just an email. No, excuse me. It's just a form you fill out and submit it. A couple days later, they send you the thing that says, all right, we've added your show. So
yeah, the more places I can have it, the better, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, that's on every Android device. Google Play Podcasts is now a thing. So like iTunes has, or Apple products has iTunes built into the phones. Google Play is on every Android device out there.
I've heard of that, but I haven't downloaded it yet.
Yep. It's there. You probably already have it. If you have Android, you already have it. You just don't know it. You just go to Google Play.
I just never use it, yeah.
Yep, just hit refresh, and there's a button that says podcast.
I always get my podcast through Podcast Addict.
That's what I've used for years until Google Play.
It's always the fastest one. Like, when I post a new episode of my podcast, sometimes it takes, like, up to 12 hours before it shows up on iTunes. But on Podcast Addict, it's there, like, within seconds.
Podcast Addict reads right off your RSS feed for your show. Do you host through Libsyn?
Yes.
Yeah, most everybody does. That's one of the best ones to host through.
It's excellent. Yeah, I love it.
Blueberry or Blue something was pretty decent for a while, but they started hijacking shows and using their own commercials. That was part of their disclaimers that anytime you host, we'll throw a commercial in the front and back. So
it's scummy as hell.
Yeah, Libsyn doesn't do that. Of course, they charge you more, but hey, you know.
Yeah, I don't mind paying a little bit. I tried before I did it on Libsyn. I tried doing it with people post music and shit all the time.
Oh, SoundCloud.
Yeah. I tried using it SoundCloud because it was free, and I couldn't, like, iTunes wouldn't accept it or some shit like that. So I was like, fuck it, I'll bite the bullet and pay a couple bucks a month and have it done easy. And then I could get, like, stats and shit too.
Direct competitor of Apple is SoundCloud. Yeah. So that's probably why. I have no doubt. So cool. Yeah, I've listened to almost all your shows. I say, well, maybe not. Maybe probably about half of your shows.
Which is like nothing.
Yeah. Well, you've got what?
You have like
14, 15 out?
Yeah, I've got 15 episodes.
Yeah, 15. Well,
and
we're
a
only
bonus episode.
We're only in 25. I mean, we're not deep into it. We try one a week. We missed last week. Both Tach wasn't here and we couldn't line guests up properly, and Andrea and I schedule kind of fucked up, but I mean, we try to do our best to release once a week, but hey, life sometimes happens.
It's hard.
Yeah. Agreed.
Before I started posting them, I was like, I'm gonna do one a week, because like everywhere that I've heard, like people giving tips about podcasts and stuff. They're like, the best thing to do, the number one rule is be consistent.
Consistency is
Put
king.
out
Yes.
one episode if you're going to do it once a week, do it once a week. Don't fucking miss a week or whatever.
Yep.
So I was like, I should probably bank some episodes before I start posting them. And then I recorded my first one and I was so eager. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to put it out.
Nice. We had, for a while, we had on our other podcast on the Twisted 10, we had 2 banked and then we missed a week. And so I had 1 banked, but I was still able to release every week.
Yeah.
And somehow we got
You
caught
did
up.
2 in 1 week.
Is that what I did?
At least 2 in 1 week.
I caught us up to being current. So now we're current. So we miss a week, then we've missed a week for our listeners. We got screwed, but it's all right. We had the most downloads we've ever had last month on that show, actually on both shows. And I released, I don't know, I think I released 2 shows the whole month of July, which is horrible. It's horrible for a podcaster to do, but hey, shit happens. All right. So the other thing you do, which is really, really cool, is you are the MC for the stand-up act at Old School Pizza down in Melbourne, where Tach did his debut stand-up scene.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yep.
That's cool. How the hell did you get into doing that?
Well, I've been doing stand-up for almost 2 years now. And after doing other people's shows for so long, kind of I wanted to just have my own show. I wanted to host my own show. And
Are you good at like herding cats, so to speak, organizing people to get the cooperation out of those people?
kind of, yeah. It's not really hard. There's a lot of comedians. So if you give them like what's the saying, if you build it they'll come, so to speak. So yeah, anytime there's like an open mic or any kind of comedy show, people want to, they want to quote unquote do time, you know what I mean? So
nice.
They'll show up.
Very cool.
And they always do.
So I've been to Old School Pizza a ton of times. I used to play Cards Against Humanity down there with some friends of mine named Derek and April that are listeners of the show. I don't know, Andrea, have you ever been to Old School Pizza before?
I never have.
It's a pretty cool little place. It's not a big, giant venue. It's not a big place, but it's a pretty decent little setup if you're going to go and watch some local stand-up. It's a pretty decent little
And they have
little
pizza?
environment. No. What would ever give you that idea?
I was just thinking,
That's
Yes, they serve.
actually-
as much as everyone's
burger
talked
place,
about
actually.
it, no one talks about like the food and it's in the name of it. So I just wondered how
food
is
is
the
good.
pizza?
It's a burger place,
food
Ray
is
said.
Yeah. They
Not
only serve
tacos?
burgers. They have burgers, tacos, and chicken sandwiches.
Nice.
That's it.
They don't actually serve pizza?
No, they don't serve
No
pizza.
shit.
And no drinks. They don't have drinks either. You have to bring your own drinks from home.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Like no sodas either? Nothing?
Nothing. No water. Nothing.
Huh. That's interesting. Hey, whatever. It works. It's working for them.
I'm joking.
Oh, all right.
No, it's just a regular pizza place.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
a regular pizza.
Fucker. You could have gone with that all night, though. You
have no
really know
drinks.
that.
That'd be the worst restaurant. A place with no drinks.
No drinks.
Bring your own drinks.
Well, that's starting to sound like a bottle club. You bring your own booze to it and rebuy it back
That's
in the
how it
bottle
was
club.
in Chickasha, Oklahoma. They didn't have any bars. You had to bring the nice ones. You had to bring your own. And you paid for them to take your bottle of wine and pour your drink for you.
There's a place like that in Melbourne, right?
There's a couple places. There's one in Merritt Island, but there used to be one in Melbourne. This is back when I was in high school.
I think they closed it, though. It was on US 1.
Yep.
Yeah. I forgot what it was called, but now it's just a drive-through liquor store. It's like right in like the worst part of town.
The ice, was it the ice where they made the blocks of ice back in the day?
I forgot what it was called. Damn it. I don't remember the name, but yeah, it was the same thing. Like they have, like on the side, they have like a drive-through where you can drive through and buy liquor through a window, like it's fast food or something. And then, inside they had like a little club and you can bring your own
I went
alcohol.
to, when I was, I guess I was 22. My buddies took me here to Merritt Island where they used to have a bottle club like that. And we were out partying all night. Then we went out to this bottle club and brought our own beer into the bottle club. I mean, probably low class Bud Light or something like that. Nothing spectacular. But we were there partying for quite some time. And this was one of the only places in Brevard that sanctioned mud wrestling for girls.
Oh.
So they had a little mud wrestling pit and amateurs could go in there and mud wrestle and win door prizes and, whatever. We're there partying, and understand the point of a bottle club is to drink after 2:00. So it's probably 3:30, 4:00 in the morning, and we're still in there partying and drinking and just having a good time. Well, they did a contest where whatever group of people raised the most money, you got to put in any person you wanted to wrestle the house champion girl. in the mud wrestling ring. So of course my buddies all chipped in, and it ended up being like $100. It wasn't that much, but they got my dumbass into the mud wrestling ring, and then they bring out the girls. There's 2 of them. One of them was pretty decent looking, and she's in a bikini, so I was kind of excited. The other one was probably 340, 350, just a behemoth. A
big old fatty.
Let's just say for the next 10 minutes, they proceed. Oh, by the way, the mud wrestling pit had little bits of gravel in the bottom of it, so it wasn't like not intentionally. It was a dirt hole they dug in the back and tried making that a mud. Yeah, it didn't work out so well. Well, for the next 10 minutes of my life, the crowd loved it, but I got my ass kicked and punched and slammed into the mud by these 2 girls. Of course, I'm not going to hit them back or do anything.
It was 2-on-1?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It wasn't me it wasn't free for all. It was them beating the hell out of me. And,
how do you win a mud wrestling match? Do you have to pin them?
I don't. That's a great question. I think it's crowd decision. So
you just go until somebody gives up? Or?
Yeah, there's pretty much nothing I can do to win that situation. I don't think. So yeah, sure enough, I was wearing khaki pants because I'd come from work out there. So I had khaki pants on and no shirt, but they ripped my pants off, ripped my underwear off. I was buck-ass naked. Of course, I was covered in mud. So it's kind of like a spa treatment, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I was all bloody and everything. Man, I never could find my pants from that place.
They ripped your underwear off?
Oh, yeah. They stripped me butt-ass naked. And this is on the side of 520, this major highway out here. So, I mean, drivers...
wrestling was outdoors?
Oh, yeah. It was outdoors. It was a little hole they dug in, like, the side of the place.
Jesus.
Look, this isn't a classy place, all right? They don't
sure
have...
some of it was not up to code.
It wasn't sanctioned. It wasn't... Yeah, no. This place was not... Definitely not good. But I've never told you that story either, did I?
No.
Yeah. So my father told me he drove by after hearing the story. He drove by, and I guess they had, and I never saw him, but they had my khaki pants covered in mud hanging up like a flag outside the place for a week or so. Yeah. So you were there the first night that at Old School when Tach went up and did his first stand up, right?
Yeah, that's actually where I met Tach.
Oh, cool.
I was there. He came really early, actually. We usually start the show, we say 9, but we usually start like 9:15 or whenever the crowd shows up. He was there like maybe 8:30. Yeah, he was there early, like to sign up for it or whatever. And I didn't even know who he was. I think I talked to him on Facebook or something before, but I didn't like recognize him. And he came up to me and he was like, "Hey man, are you doing the comedy show?" Blah blah. And he just signed up, and yeah, that was the first night that I met him. And
that's cool.
He did his first set that night.
Old boy's got some balls, that's for sure. Any comedian who does that, your initial time up there has got to be nerve-wracking. I mean, if some people are really good in front of crowds, some people are really have anxiety driven, and that makes them even funnier, in certain situations. And then some people you can cut the tension with a knife in the crowd when you feel the bomb happening. But so I purposely did not watch. So his buddy Jimmy recorded it. I purposely did not watch Tach stand up until he came in here to do the podcast the next week. I wanted to get his firsthand experience of it before I viewed it. Because if it was a bomb sometimes is a really, really cool story to hear. And sometimes it makes or breaks a comedian right off the bat, especially if your first show's a bomb. Or if it was going to be really stellar. I wanted to know from Tach what his perception was. I didn't want to have, that video to influence whether or not I thought he was good or not. And I'll be honest, he did pretty decent. I was impressed. He did bad.
Especially I've seen a lot of people go up for the first time, and he did really good, especially for, being his first time. He did pretty good.
Yeah, agreed. We'll have to go and watch Tach next time he goes up, Andrea.
Definitely. We were planning on it last time, but he didn't do it.
Yeah, and it was my birthday weekend. That was the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time.
The second time.
Yeah, he was supposed to go up to Old School again another night, but he canceled for girl. I'm not sure if it was girl or work or, maybe he's just telling us he's working that much and he's really going to see this girl down south.
It's hard to get up. For me, it was harder to go up for the second time than it was to go up for the first time. Because the first time you're scared, you're nervous, but you feel like, okay, let me just get it over with. And then once you've done it once, you're like, oh, I did it. And it's, it's over. So it's like, it's harder to get up again after you've already done it. Cause you could already say, if you've done it once, you could already say you've done it. But to come back, then it's like, that means you want to keep doing it, basically. So it's what you're telling other people
Jay Alvarez, our mutual friend Jay, has told Tach, has given Tach some advice saying, you are not an actual stand-up comedian until you've had your first bomb. He said that is the indicator that lets you know how it feels at the very bottom of the level when you get up there and you bomb. So I maybe next time we go out with Tach, that'll be his bomb night, and we'll have to buy him a drink when he comes off. I'm not hoping for it, but hey, I'm hoping he has a bad night so he knows what it's like to continue moving forward now that he's hit his bottom. But do you have any? All right, so I've always wondered. I mean, now that you're hosting your own shows and having other comedians come in, and even people like Tach that you have no idea who these people are, have you ever had, I guess, both ends of that spectrum, just a bomb that it just hurt your stomach to watch this guy or girl up there on stage just destroying this, just blowing up the crowd? I guess the other way around, bombing the crowd, or at the other end, just destroying and owning the crowd on their first night up. Have you ever had those extremes?
Yeah, there's been a lot more people bombing than there have been people just going up there and killing it. There was one guy that at the old school, in front of FIT, he actually worked at old school. He worked in the kitchen, and he had never done stand-up before. He had done some theater, apparently. He went to, I forgot what school. He's Eugene Singleton. I did one of my episodes with him, my podcast. But it was his first time doing stand-up, and he killed.
Really?
Yeah, and ever since, he's been one of the better comics on all of my shows. Every time he's there, he's one of the better comics.
That's cool.
And he'll do like the first time he went up, usually your first time you do around 5 minutes, maybe a little bit less, and it's like all you have. The first time he went up, he did like a solid 10 minutes. He had like characters and all this. It seemed like he'd been doing it for a long time, but he killed.
Just a natural comedian.
Yeah, he's definitely a natural. He's kind of like, he reminds me of Dave Chappelle.
Really?
Yeah, he's tall, black, skinny guy, and he's just goofy as fuck, and he's just
That's
really
awesome.
funny. That's
really cool. Hopefully we see somebody like him if we go down there next time you guys are doing your comedy gig down there. You do, let me get this straight. You like to be involved in stand-up comedy, and you're really getting into the podcasting thing. I guess really have gotten into the podcasting thing. Do you just prefer these hobbies that get you really no money? Because I don't know if somebody told you there's no money in podcasting or stand-up comedy unless you're, one of the top dogs in the industry. You don't get into podcasting for the money. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they're similar in that sense. In a way, you're performing for an audience, and yeah, you're right. There's no money.
Yeah, no.
There's no fucking money.
These are certainly hobbies of passion, not hobbies of profit.
If anything, you lose money. I've made money doing comedy, but overall, with all the gas and all the beers I've bought and shit like that, I've probably in the negatives when it comes to comedy, and definitely in the negatives when it comes to podcasting.
Yeah, podcasting is rough. Sponsors are, it's so difficult to gauge, where do you start turning a profit in sponsorship, and then you don't want to oversaturate your podcast with sponsors and you lose all your listeners. So it's a juggling art for sure. Do you have any shows that are upcoming that you want to throw a plug out for? Do you have any upcoming old school pizza plugs or anything?
I should know the dates, right? I have this. What's today? Is Monday.
Today is the 1st.
This
August 1st.
Yeah, this Saturday, August 6th, at the FIT location, the old school pizza right in front of FIT.
That's the one that I've been to.
9 p.m. Yeah.
Where's the other one located?
The other one is across the street from Mel High. It's right in front of, where Percepta is?
No. I knew Old Fazoli's. I went to Mel High. I know where Old Fazoli's is.
That's what it is. It was Fazoli's like 100 years ago.
Yeah, that's when I graduated.
Like
yeah.
It was Fazoli's not that long ago, like maybe 15 years ago-ish.
Maybe 20, because I'm almost at my 20 years.
No, I haven't lived in Florida that long.
Well,
and
yeah.
I ate at that Fazoli's when I worked at Medical Data Systems
It was
as
probably
a billing collector.
Probably like 10 years, maybe 8 years, something like that. I don't know. Because after it was Fazoli's, it was Beef O'Brady's for a while.
I didn't know that.
And then Beef O'Brady's closed, and now it's Old School Pizza.
Yeah, that place is a whole. So it's going to be at the FIT location a little bit further south on Babcock.
Yep.
Saturday night at 9 o'clock.
Yep. Saturday, August 6th at 9 o'clock.
Any names we know? Jay Alvarez or? Anybody else?
I don't know. That one is just an open mic, so basically anybody can show up and sign up before the show.
Andrea, you feeling frisky? You want to go do a stand-up down there?
Nope.
You can get up there and sing?
It's a comedy, not... Oh.
Well,
Are you making fun of me?
No.
That's horrible.
No, of course not. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break in studio. Any of the music you hear on the podcast, by the way, is given to us to use by DJ Gil Lugo. He's a local Brevard County guy, but he plays all over the world. One of his gigs was over in Dubai not too long ago. So check out some of his music. His links are in our show notes as well. So check out DJ Gil Lugo, and we'll be right back.
You with a flash, too fly to be a stab. Front of me, I'm like, bye. Boyfriend riding in the whip, cause I drive stick.
Well, so for everyone out there, we want you to be involved in the show. So engage with us. Send us an email to show@livingpodcariously, or go to our Facebook page, right on our wall. Send us a message, private message, befriend Andrea, me, or Tach. Hit us up on there. Let us know what you want us to talk about. If you want to send Andrea a question for the Guyry, shoot her a message on Facebook and tell her it's for Living Podcariously's Guyry, and she'll ask your question. Yeah, that's it. All right, welcome back to Living Podcariously with a special guest this week, Ray Brito. So thanks again, Ray, for coming up. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. You're filling Tach's shoes. Andrea and I got our first experience to go do something adult. Now, I say adult. It was our first weekend this summer without kids.
Our first date night.
And you're a dad, right? You've got
I have 2 kids, yep.
Two children. So we got our first chance to go out and do something fun on our own. So we decided to go out to the port. Well, first we did Preacher's. Do you know what Preacher Bar is?
No.
It's a unique... You know what Kelsey's Pizzeria is? Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
All right. It's really Merritt Island and Cape Canaveral. It's a pizza place, but it's gourmet, like Italian stuff. Okay. It's not just pizza, it's other gourmet things too. They have drinks at this restaurant, but,
that's odd.
Attached to them, they bought the other part of this complex, and they have a bar in there called Preacher Bar.
It's awesome.
It is really unique in the fact that it's got tons and tons and tons of beer on tap that are unique and out of the ordinary types of beer. They have a few microbrews and you know, some local stuff as well, but mostly it's unique out of this area kind of stuff. They have a beer in there, a Hefeweizen that I like called Franzenskanner. They're not sponsoring anything. It's just, they're a cool bar.
But the decor is really cool. They have like doors they turned into chandeliers and like all this real weird eccentric
Is it
kind
like
of designs.
like a World of Beer type deal?
Not that big.
It's a lot more artsy and eccentric than that.
Yeah, and it's not nearly that big. It might sit maybe 60 people at total.
And when you walk in, they have the big bar, but then the tables are really long. So when you walk in, if it's 2 of you and there's 8 other seats at this table, you're going to have other people join you at the table too.
Called communal seating.
It sounds very hipstery.
Yeah,
Yes.
It definitely is hipster.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely. But that's where we started. That's where we said, all right, we're going to just go out and do an adult thing. We're going to go get some beer, just chill, maybe talk to some people at the bar and just have a good time. So we went there. And we had 2 or 3 drinks there, and we met this guy from Australia. He's here on training. He's actually in Miami on training, but decided he'd drive up to the Space Coast and see what the Space Coast is all about. So we're sitting there having some drinks with him, and like a good tourist, sort of, he wanted to know, well, what can I go do after this? He wants to go out somewhere. So we told him about the port and the restaurants up at the port. He's like, well, why don't you guys go with me? Well, it didn't take a whole lot of convincing for me and Andrea to want to go. So we took him up to Grills and, had a few drinks there. Have you ever been to any of the restaurants up at the Cove at the port?
I've never been up there.
No?
Oh, it's
No.
the best place to go. It's awesome.
Really cool.
I can't tell you how many drinks I had though, because this guy kept buying me drinks. So I wasn't
Australian
paying-
guy?
Yes.
Yeah. Not just
spend a dime
her.
on
He
it.
wasn't trying to pick her up, but he was buying both of us drinks, but I ended up just drinking water for the rest of the night because I was driving.
I was
Yeah.
too busy dancing to realize how much I was drinking. I would just walk up to the table, drink my drink, and go back and dance.
Grills is, they've got a Grills down in Melbourne, I think on US 1. I believe, a Grills.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Grills?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was maybe O'Galley area.
There's the Squid Lips that are both in the same place.
Where
Maybe
is
that's
this
what
at?
it is.
In the Port?
In Port Canaveral.
This one's in Port Canaveral.
I've
Yeah.
never been to Port Canaveral before. What's over there?
There's a lot. So obviously cruise ships and all that stuff, the gambling boats over there. Then they have an entire chain of restaurants and bars called the Cove. And in this Cove is where we told this guy to go because it's really where a lot of the locals go and hang out and have a good time. It's a little bit touristy.
It's like a city walk type deal, maybe?
Kind of, not nearly as
Not
fancy.
No.
It's City Walk is a conglomerate. The Cove is a bunch of individual restaurants or bars.
It's like a downtown type of area.
No, they're
almost.
closer than that. I mean, they're like 100 feet or so apart. You're just walk to the next one. There's probably like 4 restaurant bars. So if you get bored at one, you just walk down to the next one. And
that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty reasonably priced.
Live bands at every single one, DJs, and
it goes eclectic from classic rock and country. Maybe is the best way to describe grills. Live music, but it's AC/DC to We Got Friends in Low Places is what you're going to hear there, and all the way at the other end, the west end of the port, you've got Milliken's, which is straight dance. Club music, like EDM type dance music to as ghetto as it wants to get. There are some nights when it's just straight thugster in there. I mean, it's
you can pick your bar and move around each
a
one.
Giant range for sure.
So we ended up at Fish Lips.
Yes.
Where we were dancing and no one was on the dance floor. So I went and asked the DJ, I'm like, can you play the wobble? And he was like, I'll think about it. So about 10 minutes later, he turned it on. I was the only one who started out there, and like soon as that song started, like 15 other girls came and surrounded me.
It was amazing to watch the girls go just like magnetize themselves to the dance floor when that damn song came on. It was hypnotic.
And then we danced till like 3:00 in the morning.
Well, here's where our night took an interesting twist. So Andrea is an innocent and naive woman. All right. She's beautiful in that essence, is that she holds this level of naivety that is just adorable. Well, I saw what was going on there towards the end of the night. Andrea's very drunk on the dance floor, and I'm not going to say I was drunk. I was intoxicated, but I wasn't drunk. Another girl came up to her and started dancing pretty hot and heavy with her on the dance floor.
Oh shit.
And
we weren't grinding or anything. She was trying to teach me how to twerk.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to learn how to do it.
Teaching another girl how to twerk.
Innocent.
Well, her boyfriend that was with the girl that was teaching Andrea how to twerk, her boyfriend comes up to me, and he's this muscle-bound dude. They're both younger, probably 25, 26, 27, somewhere in that range. He comes up to me, and, he's walking over tank top, board shorts, and flip-flops. And he's like, hey, man. I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, good. He introduces himself. And I kind of already saw, based on the looks that his girl was giving him and he was giving her, and I already knew where this was going. But
like a wife swap type deal?
Even worse.
I didn't see this at all.
Andrea was completely naive to this, completely.
Like well, let me not.
He comes up to me and he says, after we do our introductions and I ask where he's from, and of course they're Virginia Beach or some shit. He says, he goes, hey, it's the night's almost over. We're swingers. I'm like, oh really?
You want to fuck my wife and I'll fuck your girl?
Pretty much. That's how the conversation went. He goes, so, are you guys into that kind of stuff? And I see the two of the girls dancing on the floor. And now I saw really what was happening. So the girl was trying to show Andrea how to twerk. Well,
fishing.
At the same time, she was, and copping a feel. So I understood it better at that point.
I didn't get that at all. Not even.
That is kind of a weird thing that you wouldn't expect.
That's a good point. This isn't the first time this has happened with us, though. We went out time before, and a couple at the same fucking bar. Preachers tried, and Andrea did not realize it. They were trying to pick us up. I'm like, you realize that this couple is asking us to go hang out with them at their house, that they're wanting us to go hang out with them at their house.
We're making new friends.
Yeah, no, that's not the scene that these people were setting. But the guy was completely obliterated drunk. He's a really good looking guy though. I mean, this would have been perfect for her. He's got the chiseled ab where I've got the keg. He's a really good looking guy, no question. And the girl was okay. Let's put it this way. He would have been moving up in status by having my girl, and I would have gone down in status with his girl. So,
right.
And vice versa. Andrew would have gone up in status with him because he's a good looking guy.
No one's better than you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
But I'm not that kind of girl. I'm a good old-fashioned 50s kind of girl.
She was
minus the separate beds.
She was baiting them and not even realizing it though. So she was telling them it was so hot. Andrea was hot and sweaty. Everybody on the dance floor was hot and sweaty. It was a hot ass night. And Andrea was saying, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to go home and take all my clothes off and go skinny dipping in the pool. Do you realize telling that to a swinger couple, what that tells them? That's like candy to them.
Yeah, that's like saying yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
You are, that was foreplay to them, what you were doing.
No idea.
But you didn't know at this point that they were trying to pick you guys
until
up?
we left, when he told me after we
Afterwards?
left. Yes.
She kind of still didn't believe me. And I told her, I said, cause I exchanged numbers with them. And I don't really care.
Chisel Lab guy's phone number?
He got the number, yes.
Yeah, I got their numbers.
He's going to see how drunk I was.
Ray,
and he talked me into it.
Let's face it. If she'd have said yes, if Andrea would have been in for it, I might have done it. No, I'm just kidding. But I told her, I said, I exchanged numbers with the dude, and I said, I guarantee you that before we get home, we're going to have a text on our phone that will solidify what I'm telling you, that they were swingers. And let me actually pull it up while we're sitting here.
You got the text.
Oh, yeah. We got the text literally on the way home. And I only live 5 minutes from the port. I mean, we're really close. And the text says, sexy people 4-way, text Jason. And he puts his number in here. Yeah. Well, but that confirmed it. So as soon as he sent that text, I showed it to her. I'm like, look, I told you. She's like, I cannot believe that. So we got home, and as soon as we pulled in the driveway, Andrea says, we got to go record this. I'm like, what are you talking about?
We'll
She's
never
like,
remember.
We need to go record this right now. She was hammered, and I was fine at this point. She was gone. And so we come in the house, and I've created a monster out of her. She wanted to immediately record a bonus show to air. I've got it recorded. I haven't listened to it yet, other than just to make sure I had good audio. And yeah, so we've got a recording of our immediate after experience that we went through, but it was
Probably
fun.
would have been a better story if we had gone through with it, though.
Well, next time, I guess.
No.
No? Oh,
No.
okay.
I can understand, like, not seeing what's going on at the, cause like, I had something similar happen to me when I was at this Halloween party. There's this couple, these two, I'm not gonna say their names, but this couple that I've known, friends with both of them for a long time, and every year they have like these killer Halloween parties. And me and my girlfriend, my sister, and my sister's husband, we all go to their Halloween parties every year. And a couple Halloweens ago, we were at their house at the party, and then I saw the girl on the side of the house making out with some other guy. And I ran up to my sister, and I was like, hey, what's her name is making out with some other guy on the side of the house. And she's like, yeah, so? I'm
That's
like,
what they do.
what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, they're married. She's married to dude. And she's making out with this other guy. She's like, yeah, they're swingers.
Yep.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And
I
I was
don't
like,
see how you could even do that. Just let your girl go make
I
out with some other guy?
know.
What?
So the rest of that night, I went and I told my girlfriend immediately, I'm like, dude, did you know these guys are swingers? And she's like, what's the big deal? I'm like, and the rest of the night I spent like trying to wrap my head around how you can do that. Like how you can be with somebody. Like I can't imagine being with my girlfriend and like finding another couple and like saying, yeah, you can have sex with my girlfriend.
Why not?
It's like,
Well,
even if I get to have sex with your girlfriend, it's still like, no, you don't get to have sex with my girlfriend. Fuck you.
it takes, so in my experience, it takes two, the guy and the girl in the relationship have to be on the same pattern for that to work, the same wavelength for that to work. You guys both have to already know going into any of the situations that you're both comfortable enough with the relationship and comfortable enough with each other and not have any kind of jealous tendencies to be able to do that.
I'd be so jealous.
Did you ever hear the episode of Tom and Dan where they interviewed Mitch Fattel, the comedian?
I've heard all of their episodes, but I don't remember the Mitch Fattel interview per se.
It was the episode where Mitch Fattel is a stand-up comic, and him and his girlfriend are swingers. So he talked almost the whole show. He talked about being a swinger with his girlfriend, and then at the end, Ross brought up the fact that Mitch posted something on Instagram, like with Mickey Mouse, and he called Mickey Mouse like a faggy mouse. He used the term faggy, and Ross had like a big problem with that. I don't know.
Oh, really?
You remember the episode?
I do remember it now. I remember some of the stories that he was telling because they always ask the same question to the comedians. Have you ever been, what's the question they always ask the comedians? Is there ever a story of a house comedy gig or like a one-off type comedy gig that you've ever done where it's either been great or it's been a horrific story? And I think he told a pretty interesting story about something like that. I think that was him that told that story.
I don't remember the entire episode. I just remember, cause I've heard other interviews, cause I think recently he must have gone on like a radio tour, cause I heard him on like 3 different podcasts in the same month. But yeah, he always talks about, how he's a swinger and how him and his girl or his wife or whatever the fuck, they're like you said, they have
okay
to
with
be
it,
on the same wavelength and they have to go into it. But I don't understand how you can not be worried, like, what if this guy fucks my girlfriend better than I can fuck my girlfriend?
That's so part of it's not only the jealousy, it's the
insecurity.
So, yeah, you have to be secure with your number one with your manhood, because when you see a dong that's twice as big as yours, and you're like, holy shit, something's
well,
about to.
Not only that, but like, what if she just like he might not even have a bigger dick, but like, what if he just
does it better?
Yeah,
the motion in the ocean is just a little better. Yeah.
I don't know. I would be so jealous. Just the idea of him touching, kissing another girl.
Yeah.
And me watching it?
Yeah.
No.
And then you're banging some other guy. Like, I don't.
What's wrong with our relationship?
Now, see, I wouldn't.
This is happening right now.
No. There's the misconception.
In my head.
Okay.
People see it as like the way Mitch described it was like the most sensible way to describe it. Like he said, it's just us. We're in a relationship. It's me and you, and we are just touching other things. Like we want to touch new people, and we just do it together, knowing that we're just
they're being
trying
honest
new
to
things,
each other.
but we're gonna stay together. But it's like
we've talked about this in the past. The people that can do that disconnect sex from emotion. They disconnect, and then it becomes raw and animalistic. If you can disconnect sex from love and from emotion,
I think anyone that can do that is a fucking psychopath.
Well, wait a minute, hang on now.
I agree with you completely.
Wait, Ray doesn't know, but you're setting me up here for failure. So some of our older podcasts, I've told a story about my ex-wife and I. Now, I was never a swinger. I was never a title of a swinger. But we were in a relationship where we were comfortable going to strip clubs together and, me looking at porn and, doing whatever. There was no issues there with any of that. And vice versa. I didn't have I had no issues with her going to do those types of things as well. It just so happened that, and it was never planned, but we ended up hooking up with another couple. I mean, technically, I guess that would make us a swinger at that point. However, it was accidental or spur of the moment or in the heat or whatever you want to call it. We ended up having sex with another couple.
That's why you got that guy's number.
What?
That's what's happened. He's trying to make me go in that way.
No, I would never make you do something you don't want to do.
No.
So you and your ex-wife had sex with it. So you had sex with his wife?
It was all together. But yes, I had sex with his wife and he had sex with my wife. It wasn't like wife swap. It was like a orgy, like of.
But
so
at
you had
one
sex
point,
with him too?
But at one point,
no.
But at one point, you were inside his wife.
Oh, yeah.
And he was inside your wife.
Yeah, no question. Yes.
See, I couldn't do that. And then after that, did you guys get divorced like the next day?
No. It is funny though. We didn't, obviously something didn't work out in that marriage because we're not together now, but it had nothing to do with jealousy or emotions like that or
that
issues.
Sure?
Yes,
that had
100%.
nothing to do with it?
Nothing. Because it
Are
was
you sure?
years later that we got divorced.
Okay. And that was just a one-off.
I'm sure. I don't know about her, but I'm sure.
That was a one-off thing.
One-time event.
Once.
Yes.
See,
Yeah,
I
for that.
I couldn't do it either. Like,
Even if I was shit-faced wasted, like.
Ironic choice of
even
words.
just the idea of thinking about it just makes me like cringe. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even think about it.
I am too jealous and a little, like, I think I'm way more secure now than I was, like, when I was 18 with my first girlfriend, but I'm still, like, I'm not secure enough to watch another guy fuck my girlfriend.
No.
Well,
I'm
Ray,
not that secure.
we've invited you here under ulterior motives. Andrea's going to take you
Not me, I'll have
upstairs.
to leave.
No, I'm just kidding.
I left my girlfriend at home. God damn it.
No, just kidding, Ray's girlfriend. That's not actually happening here. But yeah, so look, I understand the idea of not understanding the other side of that of that point of view. I get it. I understand that.
I can see how someone could feel like that, but I would never.
Some people see it kind of like you did. Some people see it as if you love someone so much, you wouldn't let that happen. However, I see it just the opposite. I see it as if I love someone that shares that same interest so much that I know that I'm safe in my relationship with that person, then we can explore these things together. Then let's do it. That's great. If it turns you on and it turns her on, that's great. But that's very few and far in between people that do that. So you and her would both have to be completely secure and not you would both have to have, because I would always have at least a little bit of fear or doubt, like, what if she enjoys it and starts questioning, and
the girl's gonna think same thing. You're gonna be sitting there watching your guy do some other girl thing, and he likes her better than me.
It's like I almost think the kissing would be harder to watch than the actual.
That's the funny part about that is a lot of swinging people
say no kissing.
Say no kissing, lips.
As soon as it started, I'd run out of the room crying.
Because I think. I think I would almost rather watch a guy bang my girlfriend
than kiss her
with no kissing than just watch them make out.
Well, see, now there's a good example.
No.
Girls, when they get drunk,
I
sometimes
think I'm lying,
make
actually.
out.
That might not even be true. I just thought about that and I'm like, wait, no.
Girls, sometimes when they have too much to drink, even girls that are completely straight and completely secure with not
kiss other girls.
Kiss other girls.
I've seen it many times.
It's for entertainment purposes, I guess, but it's goddamn entertaining.
Out.
Yeah, I'll agree with you.
But if it's a guy and a girl,
that's different.
And I'm dating that girl, then
that's different.
I'm not that secure. Right. I'm not that secure.
I'm comfortable enough to. If Andrea says one day that she wants to do that, then I'm comfortable with it. Other than that, I know that that's off limits. And I told that couple that night too when the guy was telling me we're swingers. I'm like, look, it's this is not going to happen. This is not something that we're into. But we're very flattered. Thank you for the offer. He's like, well, let me give you my number just in case you change your mind.
Did you mention it to your wife? Like, hey, this guy wanted to do this. Do you want to do it?
We talking about this last weekend or on the
with your ex-wife?
No, it literally just happened out of nowhere. Nothing was planned. So
who started?
The girls were making out.
This is such a great question. So I on one of our other iterations of Living Podcariously, I told this entire story. And because I told this story, it lost those friends of mine. They defriended me on Facebook because I told the story. I never said their names.
Oh, they weren't just random people. They were
no
friends.
So
afterwards?
I worked with this guy overseas, and I'll make the story real short, and I won't get into too graphic detail. But I worked with the guy overseas. I worked with the guy overseas, and I was coming home to take my wife on a cruise, and ex-wife, yes. Take her on a cruise, and he had plans to take his wife because he had the same vacation dates. He had plans to take his wife somewhere up north or overseas or something. I don't know where. His plans fell through. He was bummed out. So I told him, I was like, hey, why don't you, it's cheap. Why don't you just book a cruise with us and go out of the port and I'll show you around Cocoa Beach and, take you guys out to eat dinner or something like that. So he's like, fuck it. So he did it. So he booked the cruise and they came on the cruise with us. Well, me and my ex-wife had a big cabin, big, nice cabin. And then they got this piece of shit interior room that doesn't have any windows other than that fake window. So we all get on the cruise. We all go right up to the top deck. The cruise hasn't even left the port yet, and we're hammer drunk on top deck. Just having a good time. Well, it was really weird because me and this other dude, my buddy from where I was working overseas, started. We turned around and the girls are making out, lightly petting and making out on the top deck where everybody's there.
Out of nowhere?
Just completely out of nowhere. We did not see it coming at all. So, look, things just moved up.
Had y'all discussed this beforehand?
No discussion of this at all. We didn't even know that was, there was no, this was a completely innocent thing that happened.
How did it go from the girls, because the girls making out I could see.
You have to progress it. I see your mind working. I know exactly where you're going.
How does it go from that to
y'all switch girls?
The girls wanted to go back to the room they wanted to go back and change clothes and get ready to do other stuff on the cruise because they were both in their bikinis up on the top deck. And so the guys followed back and we happened to be on the same floor, just different areas of the boat. So the girls, we got to our suite and the girls just continued on in. So me and the dude are like, well, okay, let's go in. Well, at this point, somebody had to break the ice of, is this really about to happen?
Who
type. My ex-wife did. She was very, very assertive, very forward, not shy, sometimes too much so, but she's the one who said it. She broke the ice with the other couple and said, do you guys want to do this? And they're like, wait, have you guys done this before? They're asking us like we're the experienced ones. I had never done anything like that. She had never done anything like that, not straight swinging. So they're like, fuck it, let's do it. So, one thing happened, and I mean, the rest is kind of history.
It just makes me sick to my stomach. Almost.
Yeah, I can't.
I understand the perspective, but not everybody thinks the same way as that. That people don't get anxious over those types of things. I wouldn't get anxious over it either unless something happened where you were upset about something.
I wish you would. I don't want you to think me fucking some other guy would be good.
I would think you falling in love with some other guy would be horrible. Fucking another guy, if you can detach emotions from sex, then yes. I think it's fine.
They're one and the same.
To you, yes, they are. They are very much that way.
Psychopath, huh?
I'm the psychopath. Yeah.
No emotions.
Well, I don't think that means I don't know. I think I don't know. I think.
Now you're giving him ideas.
No, I think it's more of like it just comes down to being secure. That's what it comes down to. Cause the only reason why I don't do it is because I don't want, it's like a territorial thing and a security thing. Like, sure. I don't want my girlfriend to find somebody else, and I don't want some other guy.
I view it this way. If my girl's going to have the opportunity to be influenced by another person other than sexually to the point where she's going to leave me, then I've been doing something wrong the whole time anyway. That's how I view it. If I think she can be so easily persuaded to and when I say cheat on me, it doesn't mean cheat on me by having sex, but it means cheating on me by finding emotional interest in somebody else. That means I'm doing something wrong. So that would fall square back on my shoulders of responsibility, to me anyway. I mean, that's how I see it. So.
Yeah, but I can see like, cause when you have sex with somebody like for the first time, or like when you start dating, the first few months are like, the chemistry is like crazy. You're like having sex all the time. And then the longer you're together, you might still be in love, but you're not like, oh my God, let's have sex fucking 3 times a day or whatever. So it's like,
when does that end?
I can see.
When does that end?
I haven't let her get off that high yet.
I have a chart actually on my calendar. I can tell you exactly. But no, I don't see how, like, I would be scared that she would find that, like,
chemistry
that
again.
Fresh chemistry. Even though, if she leaves me for this guy, in 3 years, she might be,
So let me ask you a scientific theory on that question.
But she might think it's better just because it's something new. You know what I mean?
What if you had a relationship with your wife or girlfriend where you were confident in the emotional connection that the two of you have? You guys love each other, and you're to the point in your life where, you feel confident that that's love, and that that's how you both feel about each other. But if you could have that first kind of that energy that you get out of having, a kiss or a body touching or having sex with somebody new, but without having any kind of emotional connection.
That would be cool.
That's what this whole lifestyle is about.
Yeah, I get it. And like I said, that's why I understand why people could do it. But I feel like you would have to be on such a crazy, like in such a great place in your relationship to be able to be like.
But you can be in a great place in your relationship and not do that.
Sure.
Well, yeah. But like he said, like, it's kind of like granting. Because no matter who you are, that when you're kissing someone new or having sex with someone new, it's great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The energy there is phenomenal.
So for you to be with somebody and be like, okay, you and me are together. We're not going to break up or whatever. But let's go and have this experience and have that feeling of kissing someone new or having sex with someone new. Let's both do it with other people, knowing that we're just doing it to get that feeling,
right? And
separate that from what we have together. I can see how people would do that.
It's almost easier to think that than your girl finding just a dude, that she becomes attracted to and does it on her own. If you have another couple that has a like-minded interest that says, they're mutually together and they're in love and all they're looking for is something physical, you don't have to worry about the emotional connection out of either one of them. So maybe that's it.
I would just be too scared.
I don't know. I'm trying to advocate for the swinger side here, even though I'm not a swinger. I'm trying to advocate for that side.
I don't believe you.
Andrea thinks I'm a swinger.
It's totally a swinger.
I'm not. I promise you.
I don't know. I could see both sides, but as far as I go, I don't think I could ever do that.
I know I'm never going to. I'm comfortable with that. So just know that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Crickets. All right. Let's move on. Let's make him. Andrea suddenly got quiet on the podcast, so let's move on. I love you, baby. I'm not going to cheat on you. I promise. Or I won't swing on you. Or wait, what?
You're not going to punch her?
Let's talk.
Just don't leave any marks.
Let's talk Disney for a minute. Okay. I'm not a very good person about how to make a segue from one topic to another, so let's move on right to Disney.
The opposite.
To Disney.
Yeah, from swinging sex to Disney. However, this might turn Andrea on a little bit. Disney is moving forward on the remake of the 1984 film Splash with an interesting twist. So thinking of the stars in Hollywood right now that are famous, all right, who do you think is going to play the part of the mermaid?
Is it Amy Adams?
No, it's not Amy Adams.
I love Amy Adams.
It's not. What's the other, the fat girl that does the comedy?
No, she can't be.
Right. It's not her.
Not Madison.
Madison is the name of the mermaid. That's right. Mm-hmm. But this one's the name of the mermaid's
actually,
not Madison.
Her name is.
This one is not named Madison. They don't actually give me the name here, but it's not a girl.
A guy is playing it.
Channing Tatum is going to be the new mermaid. You know who Channing Tatum is?
Yes.
Did you just get awestruck? I mean, what's going on?
Wait, what?
I'm disgusted.
Yeah. So the movie Splash was Daryl Hannah. That was the original actress that played Splash, and Tom Hanks played the dude that found her and
I remember
fell in love with her. Yeah.
That was one of the first times I ever thought about having sex with a woman. Was watching
Why
that movie.
is a guy
especially
the
when
mermaid?
especially when she gets out at the Statue of Liberty and you see her ass walking up that's my favorite scene.
That and Howard the Duck were two.
Howard the
Duck. Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck was like the first time that I forgot what it was. There was a scene in that movie that I would watch over and over, and I was like, oh my god, that makes me feel funny.
Yeah, the warm feelings in my loins.
How is a guy going to be Madison?
It's obviously his name's not going to be Madison in the movie. It's going to be something else. But
is he going to be a merman?
This is not
He's going to be a merman. Yeah.
This is not a remake. This is a totally different movie.
So
okay.
They make Ghostbusters with chicks.
I actually watched that the other day.
And you liked it?
So let's put it this way: it had a giant uphill battle for me because the legacy that is Ghostbusters to me and to a lot of the fans that like the original movie. Let's not even talk about 2 because Ghostbusters 2 was shit. But Ghostbusters the original had such a legacy to uphold that you had to pick the characters to portray it correctly. Choosing women, I'm not misogynist, but choosing women, I don't think had any chance to uphold the legacy of the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, they did a pretty fucking good job.
They did pick pretty good chicks to do it.
Jenny McCarthy, the one problem I have with her is that they glamorize her.
Melissa McCarthy?
That's what I meant to say. Jesus Christ.
Totally different.
Yeah, completely different. Melissa McCarthy, they glamorize her size and make it slapstick for where she falls down in every fucking movie she's in.
Yeah.
That her comedy is about her size and her falling over. Where, look, I understand that that's funny, but that is not what Ghostbusters, the legacy of Ghostbusters is about. She did it a little bit in this movie. Just a little bit, not much. But it was done pretty tastefully. And I'll be honest, and I didn't watch it all the way through. I watched it till about 3/4 of the way through because streaming stopped for whatever reason, my hijacked movie site. But, it was good. I have to admit, I was impressed. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
I feel like I'll eventually watch it, but I don't know. I did a bit about it on stage a couple times and it didn't go over well. It was I basically said that, cause I was on Twitter and I commented about it and I was like, the movie looks like it's going to be fucking garbage. And, someone was like, oh, why? Cause it's because it's girls, you don't think girls can be Ghostbusters.
Women power.
There is no way to not sound like misogynist when saying it's going to be bad. There's no way to not sound
exactly. So I went the other way, and I was just like, yeah, you know what? That's exactly why I don't think women can be fucking Ghostbusters
because they're supposed to make the sandwiches.
Right.
Well, not only that, but like women are like, I've never met a woman in my entire life that wasn't scared of like bugs. How are they gonna fucking take down these fucking ghosts?
There you
because
go. True.
ghosts are less
ghosts.
creepy than bugs.
And I mean, let's be honest. There's got to be some scientists in this movie. But women can't be scientists.
It's almost like the movie's almost the opposite of. It's like a whole like fuck guys kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
Women power.
the one guy that they have that's the co-star. He's almost comedy relief in that movie. Is they make him dumb as a can of hammers in that movie.
They just shit.
Oh.
I heard they fucking throw Bill Murray out of a window. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, technically a ghost does, but they throw him out of a window.
Well, yeah, he gets thrown out of a window.
A ghost couldn't get him though.
You would have. He didn't come back as his character. He came back as
He's just a random guy or something.
His cameo in the movie had nothing to do with his original character in the
None
original
of them
movies.
did.
Yeah, no.
But you can't bring an original Ghostbuster back to get thrown on a window.
Hence another reason why this movie was so sketchy
That
about
doesn't
breaking.
make sense.
There were many reasons why I honestly didn't think that the movie looked good. And I think there were obviously some people that are just like, oh, girls can't be Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But that's like the minority. Most people are just pissed off because it's a remake of one of their favorite movies of all time.
It's like remaking The Goonies. You can't remake
Aren't
The
they
Goonies.
doing that also?
Oh no, seriously?
I'm
like
still
they
upset
are.
about a guy being the mermaid in Splash.
Being Madison?
Yeah.
I mean, what's next? A guy for Ariel?
I think at this point they're just like, what can we do? Let's get all these old fucking ideas and then let's
make
just
up new ideas.
make some sort of cause they know it's going to be controversial to make female Ghostbusters.
To
And
make
now
a man
the
in
mermaid.
Splash.
That's just, it's just ridiculous.
It is.
It's just ridiculous.
New ideas, guys. Make up new ideas. Use your brains. Get some new people to come up with whole new stories.
Speaking of stories, I want you to tell us a recap. Now, I've heard this story. Andrea has not heard this yet, and our listeners have not, but it is such a good story. I wanted you to recap it for us from episode number 4 with Acosta. What was his name?
Andrew Acosta.
Andrew Acosta. You told a story on your podcast, and obviously tell what you want to tell and what you don't want to tell. I can edit it out later too.
Right.
I want to hear the story about you being mugged. Because this is, by far, when I was listening to this story, it completely captivated me, and I was completely tuned in listening, because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It
does sound like a made up story.
Yeah, it does.
It does kind of sound like a made up story.
So, alright, go, Andrea, this is 100% for you, because I've heard this, and it blows my fucking mind.
So, this was, I don't know, like 10 years ago, maybe? So, I was like 19 or so. I, at the time, was renting a house, a 3-bedroom house, from my dad. And I lived there. My girlfriend at the time had just fucking broken up with me. And, so I was living there by myself, technically. And I had 4 of my guy friends over that night, because it was one of their birthdays. So they all came over. So it was 5 of us total. We were like partying, drinking, smoking weed, playing video games, whatever. And then, one of the guys, we were outside. Some of them were smoking cigarettes or whatever. And then we saw it was like 2 black kids and this Mexican kid riding by in front of my house. It was like 12 o'clock at night, I believe. And we saw these kids riding bikes, in front of my house.
Like bicycles.
Yeah, bicycles. Just riding by in front of the house and like kind of staring us down and shit. And then again, we saw them circle around my house again. We thought it was weird. So we're like, let's go inside. So we went inside, and then one of my friends was like, I just got a new stereo put in my car and my doors are unlocked. I'm going to go outside and lock my doors. Cause those kids are like circling the neighborhood. Obviously, they seem like they're up to no good. So he went outside, and then, we kept playing video games or whatever. And like 10 minutes go by, and I'm like, Brandon has been outside for like 15 minutes. He said he was going to go lock his doors and come back. Let me go see what the fuck's going on. So I go to the front door, and as soon as I open the door to go outside, there's this black kid standing there, and I was like, what? And he's like, hey, your buddy hit my friend with his car. I was like, what? And he's like, your buddy hit my friend with his car. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then he pulled a gun out of his pocket, and he pointed at me, and he's like, just get down. He's like, back up and get down or some shit like that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So he got me and
way to kill a buzz, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he totally killed the party. Made us get down, like face down on the floor. And then they brought, apparently at that point they had Brandon outside, like face down on the street. And then after they got us down on the ground, they brought Brandon inside. So they had us all face down on the floor in the living room. They took our wallets and our cell phones and shit. And they noticed that one of my friend's van had the most cash on him because he had just gotten paid at a restaurant that he works at that he gets paid cash. So he had like $350 in cash on him. So they took that, and I guess they assumed it was his house for some reason. So they brought Van to my bedroom by himself to, I don't know, ask him. I heard them asking him like if we had any valuables in the house, basically. And he's like, I don't know, this isn't my house, it's Ray's house, blah, blah, blah. So they came out, they got me, took me in the room. So they had me and Van face down on my bed, and they were asking me like, oh, do you have any valuables, any money, any drugs or whatever? And at that point they had my other 3 friends that were there in the living room. And I guess they decided, I don't know why they did it, but they made the 3 guys that were in the living room get butt naked for some reason. And one of the guys, I heard this from my room, I heard one of the black guys that was in the living room, they were like, I guess they thought it was funny to make them get naked. Maybe they were swingers. That's a good callback. I don't know, maybe they were just like trying to humiliate them or what the fuck. I don't know why the fuck they would do that. That's weird. I don't know. Even if you're robbing somebody, if I was robbing somebody, I don't know why I would make them get naked. Make them feel
extra vulnerable.
Yeah, I guess maybe so that they don't run after them once they leave. I don't fucking know why they did it. But then they made the 3 of them. Well, I heard one of the black guys in the living room, I heard him saying, shit yourself. Shit yourself.
Cracker, you about shit yourself.
And I heard one of my friends, I swear to God, I heard him saying shit yourself. He said shit yourself twice. And then I heard one of my friends farting. Like he was trying to
so
shit
hard.
himself.
Oh my God.
He was trying, because he was butt naked with a gun on him.
Yeah.
And the guy's like pointing the gun at him saying shit yourself. Like, so I guess he was straining, trying to.
I mean, I have a gun on me. I'm going to do my best to shit my pants too.
You do whatever someone says that has a gun on you.
Yeah, exactly.
So then they were just like destroying the house, and that happened. And then they got the 3. I guess once they were done going through the house and figured they had like they took like they didn't get much for a fucking armed home invasion. All they got was my PS2. Because that was like the newest system at the time. They got my PS2, my bong, like $27 out of my wallet, my Nokia cell phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
These aren't exactly what you would call hardened criminals. This was probably their first holdup.
They were on a bike. They couldn't carry much.
Well, no, the Mexican kid had a record, but yeah, once they have gone through the whole house and stuff, they made the 3 naked guys come into the room with me and Van and lay face down on my bed. So it was... You
had 5 dudes on your bed, you and 4 other guys?
5, yeah. I don't know if they did it on purpose, but they made it like naked dude, me, naked dude, Van, naked dude. And they were all... I was fucking 19 at the time, so I didn't have a sheet on my bed. So it was just my bare mattress.
Aww.
And I have these 3... dicks. Like these 3, I had these 3 guys, which they were all like these I don't know, I hung out with a lot of like dirty punk rock kind of guys, so they were probably dirty, naked guys, dick down on my bare mattress, and
then shit themselves.
I don't think he actually shit himself. He was
tried.
farting though. So, but their bare dicks were on my sheetless mattress.
Now, of course, this is a funny story, but I know it was traumatic as hell.
It
at
was
the time,
very traumatic.
I know you can now look back on it and at least laugh. Did they get the guys? So you know the Mexican guy had a record?
The Mexican guy. He lived right around the street from,
idiot.
He was 17, the Mexican kid. I saw him at a gas station. Like, it's weird because like when you're in that situation, like they had us all face down on the bed and they're like obviously done robbing us. So they're like, we're going to leave. They said, don't move for 30 minutes. And I was like, okay. And they left me with like, my work phone, which I told them didn't have signal or whatever, but they left me with that phone to like so I can have a timer or some shit. They're like, don't move for 30 minutes until after we leave.
911.
And they left. They pretended that they left and waited in the living room for like a minute or so. And then we started like talking to each other, like, what should we do? Like, should we get up? Should we, I don't know, what the fuck should we do? Should we look for our clothes? I don't know. And, one of them came back in the room and like, I guess he heard us talking. So he was like, I told you guys not to fucking say anything, not to move. Oh my God. And, after that they left. And then, it was just, it's really weird after something like that happens. You're like, you don't really know what to do. Cause you want to like,
well, you're in shock.
You want to call the cops, I guess. But at the same time, you're like, I was like, what, even if we call the cops right now, the kids are probably long gone. It's been half an hour. And honestly, like, I didn't really get that good a look at any of them. So all I can tell the cops is, hey, 2 black kids and a guy that looked Mexican robbed us.
Jesus Christ.
So they took my bong.
They took my weed, man.
Yeah,
that's a horrible.
I didn't tell them they stole my bong, obviously. But I told them that my PS2 and my cell phone were gone.
Man. Armed robbery though, that's fucking crazy. So I heard that story and I was listening to it.
Nowadays they could have tracked that phone.
Huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Nowadays they could have tracked that phone and found him right away.
They probably could have done that at the time too, with the whole pinging tower thing. I don't think local like Palm Bay Police Department would do something like that. That sounds too advanced for Palm Bay Police.
This is not exactly CSI you're dealing with out of Palm Bay,
especially for like. They probably got less than $100 worth of shit from me. So
one of the cops, when he showed up at Ray's house, after hearing the description of the suspects, immediately picks up his phone and calls his little brother. Man, would you just rob somebody? Would you? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, that's an awesome story, man. I heard you telling that, and I wanted to, when you said you were going to come up to the studio, I wanted to be sure to get that out of you live, because man, that is fucking crazy.
In all fairness, Andy, which is the guy I had on my podcast that was there. He was there for the robbery. He was one of the guys that had to get naked. He's a way better storyteller than I am. So
you told it fine, dude.
I thought it was a great story.
If you want,
you can make a movie out of it.
If you want to hear a way better version of the story, listen.
Yep.
Episode 2 of my podcast.
Is it 2 or 4? So because I wrote
it might be 4.
I wrote down here episode 4.
Yeah, it's 4
with Andy Acosta.
Yeah, it's 4. But it was very scary. Like the scariest part for me. Obviously, when I first saw the guy with the gun, it was scary.
When you first opened the door and this guy's like...
For the most of the time that, like, they were there and I was on the floor, I didn't think that they wanted to shoot anybody. I didn't think, like, oh, what if we die? I was just kind of like you said, I was in shock. And then, at one point when they had us all face down on the bed, they got one of my pillows, they folded the pillow in half, and they put it on one of my friend's head. They put the folded pillow on his head and put the gun.
Like a movie silencer almost?
Yeah, exactly. So when they did that, and I was looking at that was like
I might be watching my friend get shot here.
It kind of brought my, I was literally like shaking. Like my legs were like shivering. I was shivering. I was so scared. Once they did that, I was like, even if they don't mean to, cause they're kids. They probably don't want to fucking kill anybody.
Yeah.
But if their finger slips or, you know, they're probably just as nervous as we are robbing someone at gunpoint. It's probably, they have adrenaline running through their fucking body probably. So all it takes is a slip of their finger and they could shoot my friend in the fucking head.
Jesus. Yeah, that's a rough thing to go through, man. That was the way you guys told it on that podcast. That was funny. What you were saying, shit yourself.
Wow. From swingers to Disney to armed robberies. So this is a show, right?
We kind of cover it all on Living Podcariously. All right, so we're going to take a quick break in studio, and when we come back, you're going to hear the Living Podcariously Diary. Have you heard any of those yet, Ray? Have you listened to any of the Diary questions that we've had in the past? Do you know how the segment works?
The what now?
It's called the Diary. Instead of a girl's diary, it's a Diary. Essentially, female listeners email us in questions. Andrea sifts through them and picks some of the better ones and asks. Yeah. Actually, she asks them all, but she asks us, being me and Tach, but in this case, it's you, and we answer them to the best of our ability and honestly. So, all right, we'll be right back. Listen to some more DJ Gil Lugo. Peering into the inner thoughts and expressions of men. Women submit questions for Adam and Tach to get brutal, honest admissions. We call this the Diary. Diary? Really? Is that the best we could come up with?
All right, guys, my first question is from Jackie from Florida. Why won't my boyfriend update his status on Facebook?
What?
So he doesn't want to become FBO. Maybe this is really somebody that knows Tach that's asking this question.
So her boyfriend must still say, single.
Single.
I thought it was just like why won't he post anything on Facebook? I was like, what?
Oh, that's a good point. And maybe, I imagine it has to do with his Facebook
then why won't my boyfriend update his status?
Because, well, either one of two things. Like when I first met Andrea, you never really cared about Facebook. You didn't even use Facebook other than once in a blue moon. So either he's completely disconnected from Facebook, like doesn't use it, or he's just not ready.
Like, does he post? Does he use Facebook often?
I don't know.
Yeah, these are anonymous. Well, sometimes anonymous, but sometimes they have names.
I feel like there would, for me to answer that question, honestly, I'd have to know more about, like, how long have they been together? Does he use Facebook a lot? Because if he uses Facebook a lot, and if they've been together for a while, and is it actually official? Like, has he asked her out officially, or are they just kind of hanging out? And she might think it's more than he does. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Have they had sex yet? Like,
would that make it official? There should be a status button on Facebook for that.
Jackie says,
I don't think sex makes it official. I think the guy.
No, there should be a sex button.
Oh, yeah, we're fucking. Yeah. It just says we're fucking. We're fucking.
Isn't that what the It's Complicated status is for on Facebook?
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes,
that's basically if you're a girl and you're having sex with a guy, but he won't make you his girlfriend.
It's complicated.
It's complicated. Yeah. Or he's ashamed of her. I mean, there's that possibility.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's definitely
or he has
what
another
it is.
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. Or he's a player. I mean, that's a possibility too.
He definitely is cheating on you, whoever you are. He's cheating on
Poor
you.
Jackie.
And he's fucking at least 3 other girls.
Jackie's like, I'm never listening to this podcast again.
I'm going to watch your status now and see. Make sure you don't change it, Adam.
Okay.
Then I'll know what's going on.
I'll only change it when you're in Vegas.
There is a swinger status, right?
There should be.
Yeah.
I think there is.
Giggity.
Swingers. Okay, number 2 is from Alexis in Florida. Just wondering, how do men show their love? It's obvious when girls show it.
How do men show their love? Damn, this is... most guys are typically oblivious to outward. I don't even know how to finish that statement.
I think that's where the question comes from, because guys don't just obviously just show it like girls do.
So we're talking obviously things that are above and beyond. So above like public displays of affection.
Secret little things that they do that are just specials.
Okay, so there's an important propagator here that I want you to answer. I want you to act as this girl. So is it to show the love for you to you, or to let your friends see it as the girl? Because that's a big difference. So for example, flowers at work, okay, I get it. It's nice. It's pretty. It has nothing to do with the girl you're giving the flowers to. It has to do with all the other girls in the works seeing the flowers being delivered.
Yeah.
Or could it be flowers at home? That is a direct gift to the girl, and that's showing love differently. So are we asking this question, how does a guy show his love to his girl when she's in front of her other friends or just by themselves? I know you have to take a guess here because there's two different lines of answers to go there.
Can't you just do both? One of each?
I mean, I guess so. I would say maybe anything above and beyond the normal type of greetings or salutations or whatever when you see your girl in public or with her friends would be going above to show his love. Something that is almost that she can brag about to her girls, or not even brag about, because you don't want to come off as pretentious, but you want that attention from your other girls. At least I think that girls like to see that from other girls. So like if one of your coworkers receive flowers, everyone in there is going, oh, isn't that sweet?
They do. Everyone's jealous of flowers when someone gets them.
So anything above the normal expected behavior out of a man when the girl is in front of her other girls is showing love that she wants to see for that attention. Anything at home, it could be something as simple, or even when you're by yourselves, it could be something as simple as a out of the ordinary chore to do for her, or some additional affection that's not normal, or, you know, surprising her with some kind of gift of some kind. And it doesn't have to be monetary. It could be, you know, it could be anything. It could be
doing
something
the
that
dishes or
yeah, exactly,
shit like that.
Something that's not
But he
normal.
gets flashed for taking the trash out, so he gets rewarded every time he does a good job.
I do get a pretty good reward for taking out trash. That's a true story.
I take the trash out at least once a day.
Your girl should be flashing you.
I don't see that happening.
Set that bar right there. Make sure it's set.
Just like, hey, flash me your boobs.
Yeah, every
He's a
time.
good boy. I mean, I have a puppy, so I give him the reward system, so I figured it works on your boyfriend,
It
too.
works unbelievably
I
well.
feel like it would be weird if I would just ask my girlfriend to flash me her boobs.
Every can of Coke, instead of putting it on the counter, if he takes it all the way out, I'm like, good job.
Oh,
Just
man.
teach your girlfriend the Pavlovian tricks. You know what the Pavlovian tricks are?
No.
Pavlov was the scientist who used the bell to make a dog salivate. So very, very simple technique. The Pavlov rang the bell, gave the dog a treat. Rang the bell, the dog knew it was coming, started to salivate, gave the dog a treat. Pretty soon, no treats were involved. Anytime Pavlov rang that bell, that dog would salivate. No treats were involved at the end. So that association with activities to create positive reactions is Pavlovian theory. So
Yeah, but we're
Andrea's
not as dumb as dogs, though.
oh, we're straight up dogs. You know that. Come on. Every time I'm
comes to
excited when
boobs.
I've got cans of Coke over here because I get to see boobs every time I throw them away.
I would be drinking soda all the time.
That's my
See?
life. Now you know why I drink soda all the time.
Good boy. All right, this next one is from Michelle in Texas. What do you find more valuable in a woman when it comes to physical appearance and attributes? A cute face or a great body?
Depends on the girl. I don't know. I can deal with a little less of a cute face if her body's better, I guess. I don't know. You don't want an ugly face. You don't want an ugly body. I don't know.
So are we weighing it which one we like better?
Which one do you find more valuable in a woman?
I'll tell you what, she can have a broken face as long as her eyes are perfect. If she's got eyes for days, eyes that you could die in.
Are those legs for days?
Well, yeah, but I'm kind of mixing the two here. So as long as her eyes are good, I don't mind the face as long as the body's kicking. But then again,
She has to have eyes and a body?
You don't want an ugly face.
the body can be broken too if the face is beautiful. So, I mean, this is all superficial
It's
stuff.
a lot easier to fix a body than a face.
That's true. You can't
Costs
really
a lot less.
You can't really fix ugly cheap. You can fix fat, but you can't fix. And I say fat, it could be something else.
I think overall the face is more important. Because if you're, like, let's say you're a big girl and your body might not be that great, or you are a skinny girl, because I've seen plenty of skinny girls who have shitty bodies. Like, they have, like, a negative ass. Like, their butt goes
Tiny.
in.
They look like a boy.
And no
Yep.
boobs. But they have a really pretty face. I think the face is a lot more important overall. Because I
guess so too.
I don't think I've ever seen a chick with a nice body and an ugly face.
You know what this is? You know what the question is? This is Benny Hill recaptured in our question. Benny Hill's his comedies were so funny because he would show a gorgeous face on a hot blonde or something that he had on stage, and then he would lower the screen, and then she'd have a broken body, or he'd start at the bottom, working the way up. It's great legs and calves and thighs, and you see her midsection. It's hot and a nice belly and big boobs, and you get to the face, and she's got missing teeth or something. Yeah. That's old Benny Hill for you. So, and then he would shake his head and be like, "No, can't do it," and he'd walk away. So that's a Benny Hill in a question, is what that is. Maybe I'll insert the Benny Hill theme song right there.
That's a good place. All right, this one's a little long. Stephanie from Georgia. Why isn't my boyfriend interested in sex anymore? We've been together 7 months. I love him, but it's been over a month. I'm always the one to initiate it, and he gives me excuses saying he's tired, stressed, and whatnot.
That's horrible.
At least this girl actually added some stuff.
Why doesn't he? So the point of the question is, why doesn't he initiate sex?
Why isn't my boyfriend interested in sex anymore?
Oh, yeah. There's so many ways that could possibly be going. It could be a chemical issue with him. He could have some kind of other depression or stress or something setting in his life that's causing him to be, disinterested.
They've been together 7 months though.
7 months.
If she starts to try to do it, he says he's tired or stressed.
Maybe he really is.
She initiates it. Like she starts coming on to him, and
I might sound like a dick here, but I would ask what's her name?
Stephanie.
I would ask Stephanie, in the 7 months you guys have been together, have you put on any weight, or have you started to maybe not care about your appearance as much or something? Or
it's a good point.
Is there something? Because if a guy is not interested in having sex, and it's to the point where you're initiating it, and he's still like giving you excuses, it might be something where he might, I don't know how old the guy is or something, he might have some sort of like, it might be a problem he has that's like, it might be a ED thing, like or you know what I mean, that he's embarrassed about himself, or it could be that he's not attracted to her anymore.
Yeah, I think Ray, I think you're spot on. I think what you need to find out in that situation, Stephanie, did you say, is what has changed.
Something has changed. Oh, yeah.
Something has caused this change.
He might be bored. He might not be attracted to her.
There's a possibility he's with someone else, sure.
It sounds like at this point, it's obviously bothering her enough to ask about it. So she should ask him. She should say, look, I've noticed you're not that interested in sex anymore. What's up? And see what he says and go from there.
Honesty is 100% the best approach there.
Because I've been in that situation with girls where I'm always trying to initiate sex, and it's like when we first got together, we were banging all the time, and then it's like we have sex like not even once a week or something.
What? Stupid.
Yeah, it's happened before with certain girls, and it's like
I get upset if it's been 2 days.
But yeah, ask him, just be honest and say, what's up? What's going on?
Yeah.
Sounds like good
advice. The direct approach is probably the best. But be ready for him to say that.
Yeah, be ready for devastation.
Anything from his stressors are there so much more. Like it may be something in his job has really got his mind fucked up. A lot of guys won't say things to their wives or to their girlfriends if they're embarrassed about it from work. So, and that could be really, really stressing him out. Also, watch his sleep pattern. If his sleep pattern has changed a lot, that means the stress is really affecting him. So if he's up like till 4 a.m. and then sleeps for only a couple hours or something, or if his sleep is disturbed all night, that's real indicators of stress, and you might have more of a problem there than just sex.
Yeah.
Otherwise, honey, get yourself a really good vibrator.
It might be her. It might be her. It might be something you're doing or you're not doing, or it might be him. It might be, he might be super attracted to you, but he might be like nervous that he won't perform well enough or something like that, So.
Or put the bonbons down, honey.
But
I wonder if they had an experience a month ago where they were swingers.
And
that ended it a month later. Okay, moving on. This is Vanessa in Florida.
Vanessa.
On an emotional level, how do guys deal with breakups?
an emotional level? It depends on the situation, I guess.
Yeah.
And I know we've said that for every question so far, but it's pretty, so if a guy gets to, in my opinion, if a guy gets to a point where he's ready to end a relationship, be it mutually or individually, if he's just ready to move away from the relationship, he's already disconnected from the girl emotionally. If you're ready to throw in the towel, then you've already stopped caring to the point where you want to make things happen in the future. So at that point, it's just getting past the stress of a breakup. That's more of the emotion at that point, because he's already made the decision in his mind that the relationship's over. Now, if it's on the other hand, if he's still in love with her and he still wants to be with her, then that's devastating.
Do you eat ice cream and cry and watch sad movies and listen to love songs?
If you're 18, like, I mean, when I was 18 and my fucking high school sweetheart, the girl that took my virginity, she broke up with me, and like less than 2 weeks later, she was already banging some other guy.
Aww.
Yeah, I was eating ice cream and crying and listening to
love songs, the saddest song. Why?
Yeah. Every song you hear reminds you of her. Black Hole Sun, that's so her. Yeah, it's age has something to do with it too, maturity. So, a man in his middle 20s may immediately jump back up on the horse and go back out there and find somebody else. Somebody who's a little bit older, will look at it more logically. Well, I've got, my health and my kids or something like that. So
I would be the same as I was at 18. If someone broke up with me, I'd be eating that ice cream and crying to love songs.
I've noticed a lot of girls will think, like, if they break up with a guy or vice versa, they break up and then they find out that the guy had sex with another girl, like, almost immediately after, like a week or 2 weeks after they broke up. They'll think like, oh, he must have not really been into me or whatever. He might actually be really broken up about it, and he's just trying to bang another girl to try to forget about you. Like, he might actually still be in love with you, not like, oh, fuck her, I'm over it already. Because I've tried to do that before.
Did it work?
No, it made it worse.
Oh.
Yeah, it makes it worse.
This is from Lynn in Florida. How would the world be different if both men and women could get pregnant?
How would that even work?
We're all unisex? No, but no, what's the word I'm looking for where you can impregnate yourself?
I guess when you have sex, then...
Asexual.
I was thinking you'd have sex, you don't know who's going to get pregnant. It could be either one of you.
Oh.
You don't know if it's a boy or a girl, or...
Guys wouldn't be as slutty, I think.
That's a good point.
We're pretty slutty.
Yeah, because you don't get pregnant.
Overall, as a species, we're pretty fucking...
We would always remember the condom.
There would be a lot of like gender stereotypes that would be completely gone.
This is a difficult question.
I think it would bridge the gap between the difference, not bridge the gap, but bridge a lot of gaps between the differences between, because one of the main differences between men and women is that, like, a lot of the reason why women and men act different is because at the end of the day, women are the ones that get pregnant and guys are the ones, like, I know it sounds kind of, cavemanish to say that we just want to spread our seed, but
that's your basic human instinct.
That's evolutionary right there.
That's kind of, we just want to come and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I say internet porn would be a lot more popular. There would be a lot more masturbation out of guys. That's for sure. Yes.
That'd be interesting though.
The hunt wouldn't be on so hard for women, which would actually change all of advertising. Advertising in its essence is built in sexual advertising. So the majority of advertisements out there would be different, which would mean you probably wouldn't have things like cheerleaders at football games or,
bikini girls in car commercials.
Beer commercial. Yeah, exactly. It would be, wow, that'd make us a much more honest society, I think.
It would definitely be better for the world if we can both get pregnant.
But guys can't do that. Look,
it would level the playing field way more.
Women are so much stronger than men in the fact that they can go through that thing that is called childbirth. Men, the first mood swing we get because our hormones are out of balance, fuck, we're done. We wouldn't know how to handle that.
You have to have the woman to take care of you.
You are built for that. Women can handle those types of emotional and chemical changes and imbalances in your body. Well, all right, granted, I give you that.
There's medication for the ones who can't, though.
I'll tell you what, the guys would be on birth control a lot more.
Plus, the guys can't make the sandwiches as good.
And
No,
would we
damn
get
right.
periods? Would we bleed out of our dicks?
Would we deliver out of our dicks? Oh, no.
No way.
No, it'd have to be C-section. For sure.
Too many questions come out of this
Yes,
question.
it's a
Yeah.
big one. You can keep going on that. Okay, we'll move to the next one.
All right, thank you. That's a weird one.
Natalie from Texas wants to know, what made you stop talking / pursuing a girl that would be regarded as a silly reason but mattered to you?
What made you stop talking to a girl
Or pursuing her?
or pursuing her because of a silly reason, but it mattered to me?
Most people would think would be probably a silly reason, but it mattered to you.
Ugh.
So, for example, this isn't a silly reason, but for example, if I stopped pursuing a girl because she was a smoker, where that's socially acceptable for the most part, it bothers me, so I would say no more for her because of that, but more silly than that, right? Is that
think
what you're
it's-
trying to say?
I think
Or
it's like
that
that
would
episode
be a
of
reason.
Seinfeld. Have you ever seen that episode of Seinfeld where they harp on Jerry because he's like, they're like, you always find something wrong with every girl.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you don't want to settle down, so you find some stupid bullshit reason.
Her nose is crooked. Her
Yeah.
ear is lopsided.
Yeah. I guess that's what that means, basically. Like,
So what are our
Yeah.
pet peeves on a girl then? That are on our
I don't think
our
I've ever
no-goes?
done that. I don't know that I've ever done them. That I've ever stopped pursuing a girl for a silly reason. I don't know.
This will take me a minute to think.
I usually don't pursue girls anyways. I just
They pursue you.
no. We just end up in the same room together somehow. I guess.
I'm going to answer this by proxy for Tach. Tach's answer here would be if the girl during that first date, because Tach always asks the girl, "What's your passion?" If she cannot answer the question, or maybe she's too nervous to answer his question of what is your passion in life?
Don't you ask that too?
And I don't think I've asked that question. I mean,
That's
I
a
might,
weird-
but
that's
You
a
asked
weird
me.
question.
that's a
to
first
ask,
date
though.
question that Tach asks his girls. What is your passion? What are you passionate about in life? If they say, "I don't know," he says that is a deal breaker.
Really?
If they create some sort of thought process about that question, or if they have an answer,
That's
then
acceptable.
That's acceptable. But if it's straight up, I don't really have a passion. That's a deal breaker for Tach. He says for him to be with a girl, she has to have a passion of some sort. It could be painting with poop. It doesn't matter. As long as it's a passion, she has to have something passionate in her life.
I can understand that.
Bad example, but you know what I mean. I don't think I have, I don't know. I don't think I have one of those that are silly. Most of mine are socially acceptable. You can't be, a complete whore. You can't smoke. I will not be with a smoker.
I used to say that, but my girlfriend smokes and that.
To me, it's just
You didn't say you wouldn't be with me. You just said you wouldn't kiss me.
right. But if you continued smoking during our relationship,
You
it
didn't
would be a
say
no-go.
that.
That's because you chose the correct path.
You would still, because I used to say that. I used to tell my girlfriend like, if you like just smoked a cigarette, I don't like. And I told her this and it actually pissed her off. She's probably not going to listen to this, so I can say it.
Well, if she's listened to it to this point, she's devoted.
She doesn't even listen to my podcast, so she's probably not going to listen to this one.
Nice.
But I used to tell her, and it pissed her off, so I stopped saying it. But I'm like, when I kiss you right after you smoked a cigarette, it's like kissing my dad. Because growing up, I always associated that cigarette smell with my dad, because my dad was a hardcore smoker.
Yeah.
So I was like, in my mind, it always brings up that smell I associate it with my dad. So it's like making out with my dad.
That's Pavlovian
And then-
right there.
If we have sex, it's like having sex with my dad.
The memories of you having sex with your dad just come right back, don't they?
Exactly, yeah.
I know how that feels.
That's horrible.
I don't know. I can't think of any other. I can't really think of any that are odd to most people. I don't know.
These people must think we're like, or at least you guys, I don't know, must think that we're like crazy.
We've got some weird questions.
Weirdos.
We've certainly got some weird questions on here.
I think I want to start, I'm going to steal this idea and do it on my...
Go for it.
I mean, I know having a question answer segment is not a...
It's nothing original.
yeah.
This is completely
But,
new
I
to
think
the
I'm going to
world.
start doing that.
We patented this, sir.
I'm just scared that I would get no questions.
That's happened
We
to
had
us
one
before.
that was, have you ever tasted your own cum? So,
I heard that one. I heard that one.
So our buddy,
episodes.
look, I'm honest if anything on this podcast, all right? So my buddy Ron sent me a text afterwards. He goes, Adam,
What's
I want
his last
to,
name?
Kenneth. Do you know Ron? He's the other podcaster. I'll cut that part
I was
out.
joking. I
No,
didn't
that's fine.
expect you to say his last.
So he sent me a text. He goes, "I appreciate your honesty, you cum guzzling bastard." Because when I was younger, I tasted it. I mean, just to see what it was all about. I mean, I was honest about that question.
Did you like come into a cup and then drink it?
No. You know how it is. You end
He's
up
like a little
Or
finger.
did you
you
like?
end up with a little on your thumb.
with
You're
your
like,
tongue sticking out as far as it'll go.
What's this smell like?
Was it salty?
Dink. To be honest, I can't even really
You don't
remember.
Did you
remember?
taste breast milk?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Did you?
I shot that shit in my mouth.
I didn't
from a
even
distance.
taste my own breast milk.
Yeah, I tasted. I don't remember if I tasted both my kids' mother's breast milk. Yeah, I've tried it before.
Did they taste different?
I don't remember if I tried one or
That'd
both.
be a good
but
science experiment.
they were. It was gross. That's all I remember.
It's gross.
It was
I didn't
gross.
even taste my own. I breastfed for a year.
It was gross to me.
Yeah,
I heard it was
I've done
sweet.
It is. I think I remember it being sweet, but it was very. It tastes like sour milk, to be honest, because it was the association you get with warm milk is kind of like it's
Yeah.
sour milk, but
Warm
it's
milk
not
is
sour.
The fucking worst. Ugh.
Yeah,
I don't like milk.
My dad used to drink his milk with ice in it. I'm like, Jesus
Really?
Christ. Yeah.
Only if it's got Kahlua in it.
He would like pound it. Oh, I love Kahlua.
Kahlua and milk.
People
and
call
ice
me a
good.
fag all the time because I like
we got Kahlua in there.
White Russians are my favorite drink.
We actually had all the stuff to make that tonight.
Ooh.
All right, our last question is from Ariana in Florida.
Ooh, Ariana. I like that name.
Is she grande?
I don't know.
I like it.
I should go home.
What are some things women can do in bed that makes her go from good to amazing?
Oh, God.
Bring a girlfriend. Oh,
I've never been very
Last one.
adventurous as far as sex goes, so I'm probably the last person to be able to. If a girl has sex with me, I'm fucking.
She's amazing.
you're there.
I'm jumping up and down. I'm like, fuck yeah.
All right, so it's simple to me. In the bed, outfits, toys, or accessories of some kind.
What
Like-
kind of outfits? What kind of toys? What kind of
Well, so for me, it's there's really anything, to be honest. If you get into any kind of role play of any kind, and I'm not talking furries, I'm talking like
You said any kind.
yeah, like any
Well,
kind.
I was going to go
so
put
anything,
on my puppy dog outfit.
I'm in. Anything from lingerie to themed outfits to like the nurse or the secretary, the hot secretary, or, you know, whatever. Those are fucking awesome. Something that's fun. Guys are, I mean, let's face it, we're children at heart, so we want to play with things. So if you have something for us to play with that gets us to the goal of sex, hey, it's even more fun. It's more memorable that way. I'm a big fan of food in the bed. I mean, and I'm not talking about breakfast in bed. I'm talking about,
You're talking about the cucumber you brought to bed?
yeah, that's
I
that's
turned
fun
that
too.
down.
I'm talking about like whipped
In a
cream,
heartbeat.
chocolate, those kinds of, that's always fun, but you got to be ready to strip the sheets and, you know, when you're done with that.
I like blowjobs. Blowjobs
Yeah,
are cool.
Me
blowjobs are
too.
good.
I love blowjobs.
I don't know about like, I've done like,
You've given a couple blowjobs. Where are you going with this?
no, I was gonna say like, as far as toys and shit like that, I've never done any role playing or not much with toys or whatever, but
Ray says this one time I got mugged. I had to give this guy a blowjob, and it was, let me tell you.
I
No, I'm
didn't
just kidding.
swallow it though. I spit it.
That's good. Good. You don't want to get pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get my mouth. I don't want to get mouth pregnant.
Does this have to be sexual?
What?
The question, the answers, does it have to be sexually related?
What makes a girl good in bed and amazing is that if she doesn't like,
Massages.
oh,
Doesn't have to be sexual, but
all massages turn into sex.
well,
I think for me, the thing that would make me think the thing that would like I'm happy with my sex life with my girlfriend. I feel like if she were to initiate it more often,
Yeah.
if the girl doesn't initiate it more often, or like not only initiating it but like doing it in different places, like if you're not having sex anywhere besides the bedroom, have sex like out in.
Doesn't that get
not in
annoying
not in
sometimes though?
not
when
in
they're
front
like
of people,
asking for
but
it
like
all
in
the time?
public.
When the girl asks for it all the time, doesn't it get annoying?
I've never had that happen, so I don't know.
No, never.
I was wondering if I annoyed you sometimes.
No, not at all.
Just sitting there and be like,
This question is not for you. It's
Time
for
for bed.
Ariana. All right.
okay.
I can't say one thing. I actually have had a few girls, and that it's weird. It is weird. Maybe it's just for me, but the couple girls that I have had that were like overly like wanted to have sex
promiscuous?
all the time. Yeah, they wanted to have, even though it was with me, it was like almost a turn off for them to be like wanting to have sex all
Super
the
aggressive?
fucking
That's
time.
why I'm wondering, because guys said
Yeah.
they want girls to initiate it, but then they don't want girls to do it all the time.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Oh,
But if you're
there's
just
a
like
fine
all
line.
the time, because then it makes you feel like, oh, this is what chicks must feel like when we're like constantly like, you're trying to make breakfast and it's like, hey, let's fuck. It's like, dude, like, give me a break. Like,
Just trying to play Pokemon. Come on.
yeah,
You can have sex and play Pokemon at the same time.
I guess that would be funny.
That was the only question. All the questions I had.
I throw my Pokeballs at you all the time.
You guys play Pokemon Go?
No.
I have it on my phone.
I've
my
never.
daughter.
I don't
does
think there's anything wrong with it. I don't particularly do it.
It got
What
my
was that?
daughter out of the house for the first time all summer. She went out, walked around the whole block, and she was outside. She had Josh, his son.
I
they
love
walked
it.
all the way over.
Me and my girlfriend both play, and we're fucking
I see the addiction. I see why it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I do.
very addictive.
Yep. I
It's
see
good
it.
though. I don't see any other than like dickheads playing it while they're driving. That's the only thing. And now actually, starting yesterday, when you open the app, it tells you do not play Pokemon Go while you're driving.
I would imagine they would set the thing where if you're traveling too fast, it knows you're driving.
Dude,
So-
I have been, I'll leave it on because you have to, walk or travel.
So
to
then you'll pull
hatch
over when
eggs.
you see it.
Yeah, I'll be on I-95 going like 60, 70 miles an hour and Pokemon will be popping up. It's like, how does it generate
find
Pokemon when you're traveling 60 miles an hour? It's fucking
Since
crazy.
we're talking about Pokemon, I want to give a plug real quick to that idea that our friend came up with for it. If you get a lure, you play, so you know what lures are.
Yeah.
But if you're playing or want to start playing the game, you get these little devices in the game called lures after you catch so many Pokemon or hit a certain level. And essentially it lures Pokemon to wherever you place it. It geomarks the location on the map and it will then lure Pokemon there. Take your next lure to either a children's hospital or some kind of, children's place where children are, like a school or something. Maybe not a school, but children's hospital is the best because they're confined in their hospital. Drop the lure in there and then Pokemon will be drawn to that lure for those kids in the hospital who might not be able to get out of that hospital. So take it there, drop it off, do something good for those kids.
I used it for a very selfish reason to get people to come to my comedy show.
So that's good. I like the marketing aspect of that.
Could have used it to help, bring some joy to some cancer kids. But instead,
Next time.
I used it to bring people to my fucking pizza comedy show.
Well, hey, you know what? Speaking of that pizza comedy show, let's give it another plug. So this coming Saturday, which is the 6th.
Yeah.
Old School Pizza at FIT or across from FIT down in Melbourne.
Yeah,
Melbourne,
it's right
Palm
in
Bay.
front of FI. It's on it's 3150 South Babcock Street. It's Old School Pizza, and it is for anyone that plays Pokemon Go. It is a Pokestop.
There you go.
You can sit in the restaurant, watch the show, and collect items every 5 minutes. And at 8, it's actually I'm like Pokemon Go theming it again. So at 8:45, I'm gonna use a lure. So it'll be half an hour of Pokemon, and then at 9:15, as soon as the lure's over, I'll start the show.
Nice.
So
There you go.
and it's a free show. And if you want to do comedy, if you've like thought about doing even if you haven't thought about doing comedy, if you think you're funny and you want to try it and you don't know where to start, this is how you start. Like you go to a fucking open mic, which is what this is, and you try it. You go in front of a crowd
And the crowds there are not
Your
too bad.
jokes?
You've got maybe
it's
6 or 8 other comedians that are going to be there, and then maybe 10, 12, 20 people at most,
usually,
maybe.
At that show, it's a lot of comics usually, because I don't put a limit on the other show. I limit it to 12 comics, but this show, sometimes it is 8, sometimes it's 18. It just depends on the night. That one I do like an open sign up, so anyone that shows up and wants to sign up can sign up. But
that's awesome.
So yeah, if you want to try it, but it's the perfect place to like for your first time, because it's small. We turn the lights off, and they have like this blue like string lighting that goes through the whole restaurant, so it's still lit. And then we have the spotlight on the stage or whatever, and it's like perfect for your first time. It's not too many people, but it's still a good enough crowd to where you can figure out you can find out whether or not your jokes are funny or not.
Nice.
I already know. Also
check out Ray Brito's podcast. That is Gallows Humor Podcast, right? Did I say that right?
Yep.
All right,
Gallows Humor Podcast.
Gallows Humor Podcast.
iTunes, Stitcher.
We'll have it up on Google Play soon. I'll show them how to, where to go to host it on there. I get about half my hits from Google Play now for whatever reason.
Oh, nice.
It's a lot. Yeah. What else? Do you have anything else you want to plug?
That's all I do, really.
Right.
Besides work and my kids, that's all I have time for is my podcast and comedy.
Andrea, do you have anything else you want to hit before we wrap up this week?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, so for everyone out there, we want you to be involved in the show. So engage with us. Send us an email to show@livingpodcariously, or go to our Facebook page, right on our wall. Send us a message, private message, befriend Andrea, me, or Tach. Hit us up on there. Let us know what you want us to talk about. If you want to send Andrea a question for the Guyry, shoot her a message on Facebook and tell her it's for Living Podcariously's Guyry, and she'll ask your question. Give her your name or whatever, or say you want to be anonymous. That's fine too. Follow us on Twitter. That's @Podcarious. That's PODCARIOUS. Yeah, that's it. We want to thank Ray Brito for coming up for Living Podcariously. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to talk to Tach. I think you're going to take over his spot permanently.
Yeah. No, I'm going to murder him, actually.
Perfect. There's not a lot of money up here. I'm just letting you know.
That's all right.
It's all by volunteer only.
He got dinner out of it, though, so.
So does Tach. Every time Tach comes over, he does too.
The was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I
that's
got
right,
a water bottle.
Tach, we gave Ray baked ziti tonight, not pizza like we usually give you. So sorry, buddy. You missed out this week. All right, so thanks, Ray, for coming up here. Thanks for listening. My name's Adam.
My name's Andrea Joy.
And this is Living Podcariously for this week. Talk to you guys next week.